Arunachala Varakketra Aksharamanamalai Shatra Arunachala Varakketra Aksharamanamalai Shatra Karunakara Ganapatige Karamaruli Kapai.
Hari Om. Antarayatimiropashantaye shantapavanamachinti vaibhavam tannaram vapushi kunjaram mukhe manmahe kimapitundilam maha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhaginim Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Yasyantannadi Madhyam Nahi Karacharanam Namagotram na Sutram No Jatirnaiva Varnana Bhavati Purusho Nanapumsam na Chastrim Nakaram no Vikaram Nahi Janimaranam Nasti Punyam na Papam Tattvam no Tattvamekam Sahaja Samarasam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Yetaye Shantaya Sannyasini Nanavadinagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavatpadabhidham Bibhrate Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane Apara Satchit Sukhavari Rashe Yasyormi Matram Bhuvanam Samastam Guhahitam Tam Ramanam Gabhiram Chinta Vihinam Hridi Chintayami Deham Rinmayavajjadatmakam Aham Buddhirna Tasyastyato Naham Tattadabhava Supti Samaye Siddhatma Sadbhavataha Koham Bhavayutah Kuto Varadhiya Drishtvatmanishtatmanam Soham Spurtitaya Arunachala Shivah Purno Vibhati Swayam Karuna Purna Sudhabde Kabalita Ghana Vishwarupa Kiranavalyam Arunachala Paramatman Aruno Bhava Chittakanja Suvikasaya Tvai Arunachala Sarvam Bhutva Stitva Pralinametachitram Hridyahamityatmataya Nrityasibhoho Te vadanti hridayam nama Ahamiti kuta ayati tyanvishyantah pravishtayatyamalodhyam Avagamyasvam rupam shamyatyarunacalatvai nadivabdhau Tyaktva vishayam bahyam ruddha pranena ruddha manasantastvam Dhyayan pashyati yogi didhitim arunachalattvai mahiyam te Tvai arpita manasa tvam pashyin Sarvam tava krititaya satatam bhajate ananya prityam सजयत्यरुणाचलत्वयि सुखे मग्नः योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांशहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचला अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव Arunachala. It is pure Bhagavan's grace that we have assembled again here for Aksharamanamalai. This year, Kartikeya Deepam and Bhagavan's Jayanti has come the same month. Otherwise, usually it will come, if Kartikeya Deepam comes in November, Bhagavan's Jayanti will come in December. There will be 1 month gap. One Purnami, full moon day is Kartikeya Deepam, and next full moon day is Bhagavan's Jayanti. But now, due to the Indian calendar style, Westerners will be confused why it is so. So this year we have this Bhagavan's Jayanti talks just after Kartikeya Deepam. So you can see the Kartikeya Deepam light and listen to Aksharamanamalai. We have traveled a lot in this series. This year, it's actually the 70th verse that we are going to start. So 69 verses are over. And this work, Aksharamanamalai, Akshara means verbal meaning is Akshara means letter, alphabet. And Mana means to join in a wedlock. That is why they have translated it as marital garland. And Malai means a garland. Akshara also means the imperishable, the deathless, the indestructible. It's a Sanskrit word. Naksharati iti aksharam. Kshara means that which is perishable, impermanent. And akshara which means the eternal, the imperishable. Mana also means fragrance. So this garland contains the fragrance of the imperishable. The Atmanubhuti of Bhagavan. It is not simply a song on Arunachala hill, Aruna hill. It is actually a very profound commentary for Bhagavan's Ulladinarpadu. the 40 verses. It is, every verse is soaked in the experience of the self. So yesterday we said about this Pūraṇa maṇam, the 69th verse, where Bhagavan speaks about Būmaṇam and Pūraṇa maṇam. Būmaṇam means the smell of the worldliness. You cannot call it fragrance, right? The stinking smell of ignorance. In every dealings it is there. In duality it is there. The moment you identify with the body, the mind, the ego, and you take this world as real, there is a wound. Every word I am using very, very cautiously, because there is a mantra in the Upanishad, in the Mundaka Upanishad, which says, it gives a synonym to the Atma, the self. It says, what is the self? It says avranam. Vrana means wound. The only thing where there is no wound is the real nature. I don't know whether you can relate with this. The moment the I thought arises, you have already created a wound in the infinite, in the whole, in the Pūraṇa. In the I, which is relating with you, is samsara. In Aksharamanamalai, Bhagavan says, Arunachalā, bestow on me that state which is free of this you-I business. Ni naan arappuli nidam kalimayamai nindridum nilai arul Arunachala. Graciously bestow on me that state where there is no I, no you, and I am one with the whole, the Pūraṇa. And Bhagavan calls it, it is the state of Kalimayamai Nindridum Nilai, the blissful state, the ecstatic state, the state of profound peace. Maṇam. So the state where there is ignorance is a state of wound. You will get hurt. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a mantra which says, anything other than the self will give you pain, including you, including the I thought. Anything other than the self will leave you, giving you immense pain. Today or tomorrow it will leave you, including outer God, outer Guru, outer scripture. That is why yesterday we said, I think many new faces are there. Yesterday Bhagavan's Jayanti, Bhagavan will sometimes give us some Jayanti sweet. So he gave me a sweet yesterday. He gave me a nama. And what is that nama? It is Ashrama. You know the name. Ashrama means what? Ramanacharana. Right? So Ashrama is there. And there is also Grihastha Ashrama, Brahmacharya Ashrama, Sannyasa Ashrama. All these things are there. But along with that, Bhagavan gave me a commentary for it from Vishnu Sahasranama. The 1,000 names of Vishnu, where one name for Lord is Ashrama. Ashrama Shramanaha Kshamaha. Shramana means a monk. He is the monk, he is the hermitage. And that ashrama, Shankaracharya gives the commentary, he says, Yatha ashrame sarva samsara vyavaharanam samsara aranya viharanam brahmanam shanti vishranti. As there is a rest for all this wandering in this suffering. You go to an ashram, you come to Ramanacharana, you feel peaceful. It looks like an oasis. You have come there, there is peace, there is restfulness. But somebody said, Bhagavan, I don't want to go back to London. He has come from Europe. He said, I don't want to go back because here it is so peaceful in Tiruvannamalai. Bhagavan said, what is the problem with your place? There, the moment I go, my mind start working, so many things come. Then Bhagavan said, you stay here for more days, for 1 month, the same mind will start working here also. You cannot escape from yourself. When devotee prayed to Bhagavan, he said, oh Lord, rescue me from myself. Not from others. So the real ashrama is, Shankaracharya gives the meaning, ashrama means the self. A sannyasi, shramana means the self. How can a place be the self? Self is the place. Nam indri naaledu nadedu nadum kal. In Ulladu Narpadu, Bhagavan says, without this I am, there is neither space nor time. All time is the self. All space is the self. In deep sleep, time disappears, space disappears, I thought disappears. What exists? Only mere simple existence is there. Not even I. No body, no mind. So that is ashrama. The place where there is no shrama. The place where there is no trouble. That is what we are seeking. And the fragrance of that state is Aksharamana or Pūraṇa. The fragrance of infinity, wholeness. Pūraṇa means infinity. Pūraṇa means whole. Pūraṇa means fullness. Pūraṇa means peace, uninterrupted peace. Pūraṇa means contentment. Pūraṇa means perfect knowledge. Pūraṇa means the state where you cannot be affected by sorrow. And that is possible neither in the world nor in your body. And don't have the illusion you can have it in the mind. In mind also it is not possible. Mind will change. However you may meditate, how much distance you can carry your meditation. You cannot smuggle your meditation even to deep sleep. In yourself there is no action. In your real nature there is no thought or emotion. In your real nature there is no sleep. In your real nature, not even your effortful meditation can enter. It is as it is Pūraṇa, it is now, it is here. And the very recognition of it is, somebody asked whether it is an experience. There is always a debate. Some people say it is an experience. And some people say it is only jnanam, knowledge. People who say it is experience, they say simply by knowing no use. You have to experience it. And people who argue for knowledge, they say all experience will come and go. You are just recognizing what is. The usual example is you wear a rosary in your neck and search it here and there. Somebody say, oh, it is there. And you touch it, oh, it is here. Suppose you have a very, very valuable necklace with a very valuable precious jewel in it, gem in it, diamond in it, and you feel you have lost it. You search it here, there, everywhere, and doubt many people. After some time, somebody tells you, you are wearing it in your neck, and you recognize you have not lost it. The past feeling of loss is also deleted. And now you have it. It is only a knowledge, it's only a recognition, but that recognition gives you such a joy, such a contentment that you can call it an experience. You can also call it an experience which is more valuable than any other experience, because you have something which you can never lose. So that is the state of a tattvavid, a knower of the self. And in that presence, the fragrance of that Atmanubhuti, Tannarum Swanubhuti Dharayalam Manaka, as that Satyamangala Venkataramanaya sings about Bhagavan, that your Swanubhuti, the fragrance of your self-experience is so fragrant all over earth. So that Pūraṇatva, somehow, you can smell that state in the enlightened being. Bhagavata, there is a verse which says, if you bring a beautiful, fragrant flower and give someone, the moment you bring the flower inside, they say, oh, it's so fragrant. Very nice to breathe in. And for another person, he says, no smell at all. What happened? He said, for last 1 week, I have a cold. So nothing goes inside. Giving this example, Bhagavata says, when you have a very clean nose, you are able to smell a flower. Like that, when your mind is clean, pure, you will be able to smell the fragrance of the infinity. This is the example. Vataratam chetaha yogaratam chetaha atmanam anujigrati. A mind which is purified by karma yoga or bhakti yoga, when the mind is sufficiently pure, it gets the intimation of the infinity, the Pūraṇatva. So that is Būmaṇam mā-manam, Pūraṇa maṇam-golap, Pūraṇa maṇam-arul Arunachalā. This is the verse that we saw last year, 69th verse, where Bhagavan said, my mind which is caught in this body, mind, ego, O Arunachala, let it get a glimpse of that infinity, that Bhuma. For that, Pūraṇa maṇam-arul Arunachala, graciously give me that oneness with you. let my mind merge in you, become one with you. This is the prayer. Pūraṇa, maṇam-arul, Arunachalā. Būmaṇam. The smell of earth means the worldly smell, means the sign of ignorance. See, what we are seeking is freedom from suffering. That every moment we have to remember. Every moment we have to remember. Self-realization, somebody went to Kabir. And in one of his songs, he has said, you can have that para-bhakti, that infinite love, that supreme love. And this person, very rich person, he went to Kabir and said, I want that para-bhakti, that supreme love, supreme devotion. Then Kabir said, you can have, but you have to pay the price. He said, I am very rich, I can pay anything. What should I pay? He said, you have to give your head. You have to cut your head and give. Once one of Bhagavan's devotees, once Ganeshana took me to Pachayaman Koval. You can see that near Arunachaleshwara temple. If you go round the hill, before reaching Arunachala temple, right side, you go walk a kilometer inside. You will see the temple where Bhagavan, Ramana Maharshi stayed for some time, especially during the plague. Tiruvannamalai was infested with that epidemic, plague. At that time, Bhagavan stayed in Pachayaman Koval. That was very, very beautiful days. The military people were also staying there, inside the temple. And so many dead bodies, so many dead corpses in Tiruvannamalai. And military people, they will have their gun, everything. But they will say to Bhagavan, Swami, please drop us in the road. Because there will be leopards. They were afraid of leopards. Such military people at that time. So Bhagavan used to do that. In that temple, you will see very fearful figures standing in front with knife in one hand and holding the head also on the other hand. And Ganeshana once told me, this is a sign that before you enter the temple, you have to cut the head. There's so much logic, so much reasoning, so much intellectualization. The heart is not at all opening. So when you have to approach the divine, somebody asked Swami Vivekananda about this. There was a conversation, very beautiful conversation, where Swami Vivekananda says, our beloved infinite is brainless. These are his words. He says, our beloved infinite is brainless. He has given us little brain with which we are deluded. We want to know everything with that small instrument. So when this person said, I want love, divine love, supreme love, Kabir said, you will have that love, you have to surrender yourself. You have to be free of this I. The moment the I thought is gone, infinity, Purnatva is there in you. And that is, usually we say this every talk, and Bhagavan gives so many places he says about this, that in deep sleep, every day you experience. Every day you enter the deep sleep state, the body is not there, the mind is not there, the brain is not there, the I thought is not there. The moment the I thought merges in the heart, it is great relief. So too in the Jagrat, in the waking state, you have to enter that Samadhi. The state where the I thought consciously enters the heart, which Bhagavan calls as Pūraṇa maṇam, complete merging, becoming one. Arunachala, bestow on me that state, where the I will cease to operate, only you will exist. Only the truth will shine forth completely, so that my life will be fragrant with that Atmanubhuti. Pūraṇa maṇam, no Būmaṇam, no smell of ignorance in life. See, to know the self intellectually, rationally is one thing. But let that knowledge permeate into our every moment of our life, not to forget in any circumstances. Never to forget. See, Balram Reddy used to say, the greatest teaching Bhagavan gave during his last moment, when he had that cancer, that sarcoma, when the body was affected so much, then we understood what is realization. It is very easy to give a talk like this. But when the body was affected, in that state, people, devotees, with so much love, tried to hypnotize Bhagavan. See, sometimes, love is very, very dangerous. I know once Ramakrishna met Swami. He was having some physical problem. The devotees with so much love, Swami, we will take to this doctor, that hospital, here, there, everywhere. He said once he said, no, I will take care of it. Next day also somebody came and compelled him. Again he said, no, I have told you, no. And third day, he just spat fire. He said, don't interfere. It's just like a wrong note in a music for the awakened being. That you want to superimpose the body on him, the mind on him, the personality on him. So with so much love, devotees used to try to tell him that you have a body, you have a problem. And you know what they said, what they did? Bhagavan's own sister, younger sister, Alamelu. Bhagavan used to very naturally behave with them. But they never looked at him as their brother or relative. They looked at him as God. Like that only they behaved. But for him, he naturally behaved like an elder brother to the sister. Like that only he will talk. So these devotees, they caught hold of Alamelu Atte, and to her they told, if you pray to Bhagavan, you go and tell him, by his grace many have got cured, healed. So if he has a sankalpa, if he just thinks that I should get cured of this disease, he will be free. So for our sake, Bhagavan should have that sankalpa. So you go and put this prayer in front of Bhagavan. So the Alamelu, she one day went with so much trepidation. She stood there. And when she found that Bhagavan is focusing on her, she said, Bhagavan, can I offer a prayer at your feet? Bhagavan said, yes, what do you want to say? She put forth this. She said, Bhagavan, so many have got healed by your mere presence. You have to just think that you should get healed. Your bodily trouble will be over. For our sake, you should have that thought, that sankalpa. She was shivering. See, that was a phenomenon. Whenever they have to, even Bhagavan's younger brother, President Niranjanananda Swami, he was like a fire to others. People will be afraid to go near him. But the moment he goes before Bhagavan, he will shiver. Bhagavan is so soft, so easily available. When they have to say something like this, they will shiver. So she was also shivering. Bhagavan first smiled. After, he just kept quiet some moments. Then he said, Alamelu, நீ என்ன சொல்ற? He said, Alamelu, what you are saying, I have to first think that I have a body. Then I have to think that there is a hand and there is an incurable disease there. And then I should have a sankalpa that it should be cured, healed. For so much imagination, I need a mind which I do not have. See, this is what Vedanta perfectly calls a superimposition, adhyasa. The simple example that they put is superimposing a snake on a rope. Like that, superimposing the body, the mind, the self-image, everything on that pure Satchidananda existence, awareness and bliss. In that profound, that mauna sthiti, that pure consciousness, I have to superimpose all these things. See, some profound thing we will say now. It is not simply Bhagavan's state. It is your state. It is my state. It is everyone's state. We don't have body consciousness. Take it forth. This is with so much certitude Vedanta declares, and Bhagavan says, bodilessness is a foregone conclusion. But if you look at a mirror and tell me, I have a body, that is a different issue. When I look at you, I can look at you only as a body. When you look at me, you can look at me only as a body. But in your experience, can you ever imagine your body? See, Vedanta is very simple. Utterly simple. It is not even asking you to do sadhana. It's a very, very, very lazy science. Not even ready to think or to speak about do. It is the science of utterly lazy people. Alasya dhurina. As Ashtavakra says, the emperor of lazy people. A Jivan Mukta, a Jnani is an emperor of lazy people. A Chakravarti. Because he knows that in his very being there is nothing to do, nothing can be done also. The very recognition of the existence, the self, pratyabhijna. The Kashmiri Shaiva also, they also use this word, pratyabhijna. Recognition of the ever-existent truth, shining truth. The moment you recognize, there is a paradigm shift. This moment you are free. But you have to hold on to that. Pratibodha viditam matam. Sometimes the magic can happen in a trice. If it is so simple, Shankaracharya, in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya, there is a discussion about this subject, where the opponent is asking, if it is so simple, the person has to listen only once. He will be Ramana Maharshi. No more further effort is needed. Once you listen, you are free. But it is not happening. Avarti rasakrutupadeshad. This is the sutra which says avarti, means repetition, repetition, repetition. And the Upanishad also again and again is repeating the same thing. Why you need that repetition? You have to listen only once and you will be free. And Shankaracharya says, yes, what you are saying is true. It is quite possible that someone listens only once and becomes absolutely free. It is quite possible. Because that is the truth. And that has happened in many instances. You cannot rule it out. Sometimes it can happen. It has happened with many in Bhagavan's presence also. One word from Bhagavan, they are over. Finished. Nothing. No illusion of sadhana, no illusion of effort, nothing to do. The moment you say, oh, I have to do who am I? From tomorrow onwards, wake up morning 3 o'clock and do who am I? You have already made yourself as a doer. Or otherwise you can go to the other side, like many who do. Today I am enlightened. Go on making disciples. And in Tamil there is a saying which says, Padi kanatha thandrathu. Very, very funny usage. It says, crossing a well partially. One devotee, I asked, do you know swimming? He said, a little bit. How can you swim a little bit? Good. So, you have to cross the well means you have to cross the whole well. Otherwise, you will go down. So, like that, once you know, or you do not know. There is no partially knowing. You see a snake superimposed in a rope. You put the light. There is no snake. Oh, today the tail of the snake is gone. Tomorrow the body of the snake is gone. No. Either the snake exists or the rope exists. So too, the moment you know the self, the ego, the jiva bhava, the doership, the enjoyership. See, this is samsara. I am enjoying meditation. That is samsara. Today morning I was going through one of Bhagavan's books, Ramana-Malai, where Bhagavan speaks about this with the secret of doership and enjoyership. In talks also, one devotee says, suppose somebody has done so many sins. He has committed so many sins. And he does japa, tapas. Will he be free of the sin? Then Bhagavan asks him, when he does japa, does he think that he is the doer? If he is thinking that he is the doer, certainly he will get affected by the sin also. The punya of japa also will come to him. The papa of his sin also will come to him. If he is not thinking, I am not the doer, neither the punya will come nor the papa will come. He will not be affected. It looks very easy, but it is not that easy. If the knowledge is so perfect in you, once you listen, you are a Jivan Mukta. No illusion anymore of the body or the mind or the ego. Avranam, as we said, no wound. No more you get hurt. Avranam. In your very nature, real nature, you are absolutely free. This conviction comes sakrit shravana matrena. Once you listen, you are over. But Shankaracharya says, such souls are very, very rare. You seldom comes in contact with such beings. Very, very rare. Like Bhagavan, you see. In Bhagavan's own life, you see, once he inquired, over. He did not practice self-inquiry. We only do self-inquiry practice. Buy a meditation seat. Somebody, long back, it's a very old joke, a very real joke actually. One of my friends, we were studying at that time. At that time, these meditation seats were all very rare. And he saw an advertisement of a meditation seat. A lady was sitting, meditating. He was fascinated. He told me, I am going to buy that meditation seat. Then I told him, you can buy that, but meditation, where will you buy? You can buy the meditation seat. He bought it. In fact, it was not available in India. He made it come from somewhere in the United States, America. And after a week or so, he told me, what you said is right. Seat is there, but I am not able to meditate. The seat has to meditate now. I am not able to meditate. So, this knowledge of the self, you have to wake it up inside, that Pūraṇatva. And it can come and stay with you, and if it is not staying, you have to again and again expose your mind to that listening, contemplation and meditation. Shravana, manana, nididhyasana. Shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. Still, till you are established in that. No compromise. Till you are established in that, again and again you have to soak your mind, because it's a medicine. It's a perfect medicine. Buddha also, I heard that he has very often said that he is a physician, healer. And Bhagavan said Arunachalā is a medicine. Malai marund, hill like medicine. And the Vedas says Shiva, the primordial teacher, is a Vaidya. Shiva yate rudra Shiva tanuhu, Shiva vishwaha bheshaji, Shiva rudrasya bheshaji, tayano mridajivase. Hey Rudra, your very body, that auspicious body, is a medicine. What is that body? The hill body? The knowledge body. Jnanam. The jnanam is the medicine which we are searching. You absorb that medicine. Shiva means the auspicious, the most auspicious, which can heal you of all the hurts that the life has caused due to doership, and much more subtly due to enjoyership. The past memory is enjoyership. The present experience is enjoyership. The future imagination is enjoyership. The suffering is due to enjoyership. I am meditating, enjoying. Next moment, in the same spot, you will have pain. Somebody said, Bhagavan, the bliss of the self comes and goes. Bhagavan said, that happens because you do not know that the bliss is the self. It's a very subtle difference. It comes and goes because you want to retain the ego, the enjoyer. That is why the Mandukya Karika says, Naswadayet rasam tatra nisangah prajnaya bhavet. You don't stay as an enjoyer, because if you are enjoying this, you will enjoy the samsara also. Who is the enjoyer? Who is experiencing this? See, that is the first Upadesha for Bhagavan. When he landed in Tiruvannamalai, right near the temple, he first time had the vision of Arunachala. You just imagine that day. Before that, we do not know what concept he had. No photo of Tiruvannamalai is available anywhere. Only after Bhagavan's incarnation, so much Arunachala photo is at least available. He heard the name Arunachala. He had no idea what it means. In fact, that name he was conceived with that name. He was carrying it in the heart womb as the implied meaning of Tattvamasi. For him, Arunachala means liberation. For him, Arunachala means nirvana. He had no idea about what it means. So somebody comes and says, I am coming from Arunachala. He was awestruck. How is it possible that someone can come from Arunachala? Alive, physically. So he was wondering that. So he had no idea. But when he came to Tiruvannamalai, he saw Arunachala as the hill. Aruguru mamayamid achalama kanden. He says, when I came, I saw as Achala, as the hill, as the unmoving, no movement. The unmoving, I saw the unmoving hill. Arugurum amayam idu achalama kanden. And next moment, Bhagavan heard Arunachala's voice. Bhagavan heard Arunachala communicating him something. Kandavan yavan. So Aruguru mamayamidachalama kandin. And the moment he came there, that is why Bhagavan calls Arunachala as the Guru. The great teacher, out of compassion, in the hill body is available now also. You know why they say you have to go round the hill? By going round the hill again and again and again, a familiarity happens with the hill. And you are all deluded by English, by Tamil, by Malayalam, by Sanskrit, by Hindi, By all languages we are deluded. So we have forgotten the silent language of the hill. So the more and more you become familiar with the hill, the silent language, the silent communion will happen. It happened to Bhagavan. Arunachala told him, Kandavan Yavan. Just said, find out who is the seer. Who is this I who saw? And the mind turned inward, inquired, investigated the I. See, that is the explosion of self-inquiry, which Bhagavan gave to all. It was given to him by Arunachala. There was one doctor, he was called eccentric here in Tiruvannamalai, but he used to say, self-inquiry looks very rational, but there is an irrational element behind it. It is locked in a golden box and kept inside the cave of Arunachala. That is why they used to call him eccentric. Because Arunachala conveyed this teaching to Bhagavan. He said, see the seer. Find out the seer. Kandavan Yavan. Who is the seer? Who is the meditator? Who is the enjoyer? See, when you suffer in life, see, you need tremendous alertness. As the Buddhists, they say mindfulness, watchfulness. It is very strenuous. That is austerity that you need to be successful in spiritual life. Because when you suffer so much, tremendously suffer, you want to identify with suffering. You know, that is a disease. It's a psychological disorder. The Vedanta Shastra also says Kashaya Sthiti. Kashaya Sthiti. Kashaya Sthiti means in Patanjali Yoga Sutra Bhashya, Sadashiva Brahmendra says Tivra Dukkha Aikagriyata. He says concentrated involvement with suffering. You want to keep it awake. Somebody says, when you are suffering, inquire who is the sufferer. Find out who is suffering. It is the I. If you can inquire, because when you are suffering, it is immense energy. When you are angry, it's actually dense energy is there. And you inquire who is angry? I. Who is insulted? Me. And then you hold on to that I and go deeper. And touch the deepest source within. You can call it a technique. You can call it. You are suffering, you know. Our talks, one family used to come. They had 2 children with them. They will also come with their parents. And while the talk is happening, they will sleep in their mother's lap. Now they are all very grown up people. Got married, all those things. At that time they were 5, 6 years, 7 years. So they will listen to all this teaching. And one day, mother was getting angry with the son. She was trying to beat him. He said, ask who is angry. Find out who is angry. Because they appear to sleep, but they observe all those things. We appear to be awake. Same. Nothing goes inside. Sometimes, no, not always. Sometimes. So you can be awake in sleep also. The children are sometimes awake in sleep also. That is why you cannot simply take that they are sleeping. So this enjoyment means not simply joy. It means sufferment also. It means sorrow also. It means grief also. Anything. Whatever you are experiencing, find out the experiencer. Means stay with the experiencer. You ask, who is this? The entire Vedic ritualistic side also is replete with this question actually. When you are eating food, there is a mantra which says, find out, aham cha brahma, annam cha brahma, bhokta cha brahma. The mantra says, I am Brahman, the enjoyer is Brahman, the food is Brahman. And the one who is offering the food is also Brahman. Means no I in me, no I in the food, no I in the offerer. And when the I arises, who is the I? This satsanga, this is not simply knowledge seeking. If we can do self-enquiry now, not after the satsanga, then it is effective. You are listening, then the question arises within who is the listener? From within, who is listening? It is the I, the me. And what is this me, I? Just holding on to that I. It is the mantra of the inner being. An unchanted mantra, a japa. Nobody is chanting it, but constantly throbbing inside every creature. Even in the smallest organism, right from you can call a bacteria or amoeba, a unicellular organism. Ya tiryang nara devata bhirahamityantasputa grihyate. That which is dancing in animals everywhere. Once you recognize this, then you will find that it is shining everywhere. There is no inanimate thing at all. There is nothing which is lifeless. Somebody said, Bhagavan, why do you say that you should not eat non-vegetarian animals? Bhagavan said, they are alive. Then this person said, then Bhagavan, the plants are also alive. When he said this, Bhagavan said, so too are the stone in which you are sitting. If you say about life, even a stone is alive. There is no dead matter. Everywhere the I, either it is hidden or it is pronounced, it is shining forth. And the knowledge, the precious knowledge of the Vedanta, or we can say the precious knowledge of Arunachala, is this looking at the I. Aham graha vidya. The initiation of becoming aware of the utterly simple experience of existence within you as I am. See, a subtle difference is there in becoming aware of the I am and inquiring I. One is absolute knowledge, the other is sadhana, which Bhagavan revealed, a sadhana of Hridaya Vidya, like tracing the I thought to the source. Sometimes, these two methods come merging each other. Sometimes you see Bhagavan saying this, sometimes you can see he is recommending that. But anywhere, the turning inward is same. You have to sit with yourself. Great austerity is needed. Great austerity is needed. Great tapasya is needed. And the entire process, the tapasya, is only to withdraw from suffering into a chamber where you are eternally free. ஞான தபோதனரை வா என்று அழைக்கும் மலை. A great saint, Guha Namashivayar, he has given a song on Arunachala where he says Arunachala is inviting, invoking who are ready, mature enough to do that jnana tapas, the austerity of self-inquiry. When you are ready to offer to that, only then. You have to just recollect Arunachala, he will just put the noose around you. He pulls you here so that you are initiated into this Shiva Upadesha. This is Bhagavan's words. Shivan Upadesham idu unti para. That Upadesha Untiyar Muruganar concludes it like that. Shivan Upadesham idu unti para. The Upadesha of Shiva. Upadesha of Dakshinamurti. That Mauna. And Mauna means what? It is dense Maunam. It is filled with Ritambhara Tatra Prajna. As Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, that intelligence, that prajna, that awareness is full of rhythm, means truth, experience of the self. And it is naturally like the breath which comes out, that breathing of that mauna, that silence, is inquiry. Where there is the stream of I, the current of I. You don't need to teach I. If we have to give you some mantra, from outside some mantra must be given like Namah Shivaya or like Arunachala Shiva. But here nothing new is given. Nothing new is given. You are already carrying the mantra in your heart, in your very being, in your own. Actually, there is no language for it. We say non in Tamil, in English I, in Sanskrit aham, whatever language you belong to, some produced noise will be there for that. But inwardly, the sound, the moment you take it inward, it loses all language. There is only throb. You have to go and touch the plane of throb where the sadhana becomes alive, where the sadhana becomes full of current. Actually, they call it current. They call it current. You know, even in Buddhist literature, there is a beautiful word that they use, the stream winner. One who has won the stream, the inner current, one who has touched the inner current. That is the initiation in the Pashyanti Vak or Madhyama Vak. The word in the deepermost sense is pure consciousness. The word wakes up from there to become the Pashyanti, the perceivable state of the divine throb. And the word becomes more audible, then comes out. Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari. I am speaking, this is Vaikari. I am contemplating, this is Madhyama. And deeper than that is my experience. This is Pashyanti. And the para is same to all. It is same to all. And the Pashyanti makes the sage. That is why he is called a Pashyaka. Pashyaka means one who sees, the seer. And the Upanishad says Vipaschit. Vipaschit means the knower, the knowledge is so dominant in him, alive in him, so he is called Vipaschit. Na jayate mriyadeva Vipaschit. From this, in the Buddhist literature, it became Vipashyana. And then it became Vipassana. They are speaking it as Vipassana. The knowledge of the Vipashit. The Upanishad uses the word Vipashit. The seer. And what is he seeing? He is seeing the source of the word. And the inexpressible word. Deeper, more deeper than any audible plane. Where it is alive with profound energy, current, energy of peace actually. You can see, all you can make out in Bhagavan's presence. The peace is, it is something like wave which can touch another person, sweep him. The initiatory energy, when it is so powerful, no teaching is needed. It walks into you. That mauna vyakya prakatita para brahma tattvam. By mere silence, that Brahman, the supreme truth, is being expounded, communicated, transmitted. So it is possible. So you listen, then listen to the listener. You see the seer, turn the attention towards the inner one, push the mind, attention to the deeper plane, deeper plane, deeper plane. It's not that easy, hence Bhagavan gave us a hold by inquire who am I. He himself asked the question and gave the answer. When a thought comes, ask to whom? And the answer he need not say, but he says the answer will be me, I. And ask the question, who am I? In language you are asking. Actually, it is not a language. Language is not needed. Only attention is needed. But our mind is full of words, sentences. So first you implant a word there. Who am I? Who am I? You carry that. The mind is constantly saying, I am this, I am that. He is that, he is this. Then you ask, who is this I? Who is this I? Who is this I? Who is this I? Constantly carry it inside like a mantra. You know, mantra is not mechanical thing. Mantra means mananat trayate iti mantraha. That which can release you, that which can heal you, that which can make you free by constantly contemplating it inside. So you carry it in the language as who am I, who am I, who am I, or in your own language, personal language. You ask inside, who am I, who am I, who am I, so that the mind which is constantly telling this and that first will have this idea. It has something to hold. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And slowly that question becomes meaningful, and the I which is already dancing inside. You become aware of that dance. Whenever the I arises, you become aware, alert, vigilant. And then that I thought, aham vritti, like churning. When you churn the butter gets separated from the curd. The essence comes out like that. The more and more you hold on to the I, pay attention to the I, then you find that the I is no more a thought. Sureshwaracharya in Naishkarma Siddhi says, the name, only by inquiring the I, you can touch the unnameable. Because that is the most intimate thing, nearby thing. Upanishad. Upa means very near. Nishad means something which stays very near. Something which is very near. Upa samipe nishidati. So this Upanishad, something very intimate, very nearby, it is the self, it is the Atma. So you pay attention to that I thought, and then you find that the I thought merges in the source, or it reveals its real nature, free of the body, the mind, the ego, the world, as pure consciousness, as the rasa swarupa, as shanti, as the God principle, whatever it might be. So this is the Pūraṇa maṇam. Bhagavan speaks about it as the Pūraṇa maṇam, the fragrance of the infinite, the oneness with the infinite. So that is what Bhagavan has revealed here. So this we will continue tomorrow. And tomorrow we will have 8:30 before the samsara begins. In Malayalam, in our language, Malayalam, samsara means sound. Talking is samsara, sound is samsara, noise is samsara. So before this samsara begins, if they start a competition with us, they start 8:30, then it's a problem. So otherwise, before this samsara begins, I will end my samsara. My samsara is talking. Samsara means talking. So before that samsara begins, this samsara we will conclude. So 8:30 tomorrow we will begin. 8 o'clock the songs will begin. So Buddha said, after attaining that nirvana, he said, now I found that guy who is constructing house. He was, every house I live, next house he constructs. Now I have found him out and erased him. No more will he construct a house. So like that, before this construction begins, we have to stop our construction inside. That ajnana, that ignorance is constructing house means building another body, building another body, building another body. So that we will stop. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasittvameva tato na vachyam mama kinjitasti yathataveshtam kurumam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhajami.